Hello and welcome back to 2/3 for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3 breakdown. Once again, as always, I'm delighted to be joined by sadboycare. Care, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. We've had some nice weather over here in the UK recently. Got as high as sort of like 20-ish degrees, so
Nice.
it's been nice. I actually got sunstroke the other day, I forgot to tell you that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I swear, yeah.
Oh
I'm just
God.
cursed.
Yeah,
I just don't do well with the heat.
Yeah, damn. That's funny.
So-
We've had crap weather here for the past 3 days, so it's just been pouring rain.
Ah. Well, I mean, you know, I say like, oh, we've had nice weather. It was literally like 1 or 2 days,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
it's just kind of gone back to normal. So, you know, yeah, it's just a bit all over the place, really. But yeah, on to business. What did
Yeah.
you make of the episode?
I liked it a lot better than the last episode. I think it was mostly because I really liked Madripoor. Like, I loved the setting of Madripoor. I just thought it was, like, so cool. I don't know. I just loved it. And then I loved seeing Sharon. I don't trust Zemo. That's the other thing. I feel like
Yeah.
he's being really shady. But anyway, I did really like it. I did really like it.
I'm really unsure on Zemo. I was actually the opposite of Madripoor. I didn't like it.
No! I love settings like that though, where it's like a
I
shady
like the
bar
setting.
in
I like the setting,
obvious
and you know, the fact that it's like a pirate island and things
Yeah.
like that, and it's like a few years into the future. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
it kind of makes some sense, but yeah, I suppose we can touch on it. It's just that it's just not what Indonesia is like, you know, and that's not.
Is that where it was set?
you know.
I had no idea where it was set. I couldn't.
Yeah,
I don't.
it's like-
I wasn't paying attention when they said where it was set, so I was like, I don't know. But
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I mean, I've been to Indonesia, obviously, myself, and it's nothing like that at all. The sort of huge skyscrapers, the neon lights. I was just a bit like...
I feel like they probably based it more off of like Singapore though. Like that area.
Probably,
Because
yeah.
that's in that same area, right? And that's like a big city. I don't know. I didn't know where it was set, but I was like, this is really cool. I just love the like lawless city and like that kind of vibe. It gave me like cyberpunk and like what is it? Blade Runner vibes. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I
So,
can see that, yeah.
That's like I just love that vibe. So
Yeah, that's fair enough, yeah. And I did love Sharon coming back. That was
Yeah.
really good. And we'll come on to her sort of like in more detail in a little bit. But to sort of like go to the start of the very episode, obviously it kind of opens up, or I think it opens up with kind of US agent or John Walker sort of coming back, and he's just having like a load of like cold leads to find smashing flags.
yeah. Yeah.
I noticed him just like acting up though, and I love that he's acting up because it makes you really hate him more.
Oh my god, when he was saying something about, I forget what he said exactly, but he said something about like, well, I need to do this and this and this. And it was like, no, you're part of a team. It's not just you. Oh, and when he was like, when he said, do you know who I am? I wanted to punch him in the face so hard.
Yeah.
I was like, shut up. Oh my god. That made me so angry.
I think it was
Oh my
probably
God.
the best line that he could have had because
Yeah.
it just makes you hate him more. And have you seen that all the news that the actor, I've forgotten his name, so apologies for that, but
Yeah.
the actor is actually happy that he's like one of
Yeah.
the MCU's
I did
most
see
hated
that.
characters.
I did see that. He was like, I'm glad that they hate me. There was one thing I wanted to touch on. It was kind of about last episode. I talked to my cousin about it, and he said that Isaiah's nephew, the kid who opened the door when they went to Isaiah's
Eli.
house. Yeah. He is going to be like, he's like in the comics as a young hero. And there's going to be a Young Avengers thing that goes on with Miles Morales, and he's going to be a part of that.
Yeah,
which I
yeah,
think is
yeah, I
really
did see
cool.
that.
And I
Yeah.
was just like, I just wanted to throw that in there because I didn't know that until this time. But Also, he said that this show is a lot more in line with the comics than WandaVision was. Because the person is like taking everything straight from the comics, apparently. I didn't know that because I just don't read them. But yeah.
No, it is good though, like, because I think it's getting more people interested in the comics. Like, I don't really read the comics. I've never really read a Marvel comic. I'm pretty sure I could put hand on heart and say that. But there's so many possibilities where they're bringing characters in, which is what I'm loving. But yeah, we will kind of touch more on that sort of like when we come on to like fans theories and things like that, predictions. But Zemo breaking out of prison, that scene was probably one of like my favourites so far in the series.
I agree.
I don't know what it was that they did, but I'm just absolutely loving Carrie Scoveland's work on that. I think it's the way that just like Bucky is describing everything that's going on and Zemo following it to a T. I just loved it. Absolutely loved it.
That I was gonna say the same. I actually have that written down in my notes. I was like, I love this breakout scene. Like, this is so cool. And I also thought it was really funny that it was like happening as he was having this conversation with Sam. And he was like, hypothetically. And then Sam was like, you asshole. Like, I hate you for doing this.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. It was good, and it was nice for him to like eventually catch on what was happening, and then be like, "Oh my god, you're breaking him out of prison." Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah. How did you react to Zemo being rich, like royalty?
It doesn't
you see that coming?
Make sense to me. Because wasn't he living in like a shitty apartment building that got like torn apart by Sokovia being like ripped up? Or at least in Civil War it made it sound like he was like down on his luck, like not living in a nice place. But for all we know, he could have been living in the penthouse of this apartment building that got ripped apart.
Yeah, well, I mean, he does also kind of
family.
It's kind of a little bit of both. Like, yes, at one point he is living in a sort of like mashed up building or whatever you want to call it, but also he's like staying in a fairly fancy hotel. I think any hotel that gives you room service is fancy to me. So
yeah, and honestly,
there's that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, like just the fact that he traveled all around the place for like 3 months straight trying to like mess with everyone. I guess it does insinuate that he has a lot of money, but I just didn't think about it. I was like, this is kind of weird. I don't really. It kind of felt like it came out of nowhere for me, but I also just.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think they did try to somehow make sense of it that like he lost a lot of his wealth when Sokovia was basically destroyed, and he tried to like stick the knife into the Avengers once more. So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting relationship that's kind of playing out. We kind of like touched on much. Go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say I had a theory about him. We'll get to that later, but I had a theory about him halfway through the episode, and then I was like, oh, maybe not. But I still think maybe. I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
I'm really unsure.
So, but yeah, anyway, what were you going to say about Madripoor?
Just that we've like pretty much like kind of touched on it. Like, yeah, I thought it was really cool, but I just really don't think anyone from Disney's production team has ever been to Indonesia is basically the thing
well, I mean,
that I was going to say.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it could have like after the blip too, or like before, I guess. I don't know. But they could have like just I don't know. Never mind.
Okay. Well, Sharon comes back on screen anyway when they're kind of like
yes.
escaping that whole mess that they've set up. Sharon's like their guardian angel. Love seeing her back, to be fair.
Yeah, I love her. So I was really excited. I thought she was gonna team up with them, and I'm kind of upset that she didn't go with them. But I do think that she's gonna be in later episodes because of how she like left off. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe she's working with what was the guy's name? The Supreme
Power Broker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that. I think there's a possibility there because actually not necessarily there's like a connection which we will touch on in fans theories when we talk about the Power Broker more in detail. I find it very weird though that the episode was called Power Broker, yet you never actually see or meet Power Broker in this entire episode.
I kind of liked that though. Like, I kind of liked that it's like a mystery of like who this person is, and like, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe one of the characters that just showed up randomly is the Power Broker, but I don't think that anymore. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. I was like, maybe it's Sharon,
Okay.
and then I was like, no, because everyone would have just like respected her while they were like walking down the street, you know? So, I don't know. I kind of like that it's like a mysterious figure and we don't know who it is. And I like that the introduction to that character was an episode named after them, where you don't meet them, but it's all about them, basically. Like, you learn everything you need to know about them, you just don't know who it is. You know?
Yeah.
So.
That's definitely proven to be the sort of like the way the series is panning out anyway. So yeah, they go and find this like Dr. Nagel, whatever his name is, and find out that he's the person who's created the serum. And I think, again, that kind of, I don't want to say stirs the pot, but like kind of makes you wonder about Zemo's true intentions. Is he kills the scientist because he's created a super soldier serum, he's trying to bring more into the world.
I was like, why did Zemo kill Shelby or whatever? Was that him who killed her?
No, it was an external person, wasn't it?
I don't know who killed her.
I had a feeling it was Sharon, to be honest, because we never actually saw who it was. But
yeah, I thought it was Zemo, and I was like, why is Zemo killing everyone that's helping them? Like, I don't understand. But I don't actually know if it was him because I didn't see who shot who. But yeah, I was very confused when he shot him. I was like, I understand that like the whole point of like Civil War was like he wanted to get rid of the Winter Soldiers, but I don't know. I don't know why he shot them. It felt more like he shot them because they had a conversation with him, and less because he didn't want them to get he didn't want other people to get the super soldier serum.
Yeah, no, like I think it's the whole kind of like agreement of like them breaking him out was that he didn't want any more super soldiers running around. So it is kind of going to make sense. They're going to have to, if that relationship is going to go forward, they're going to have to find some sort of compromise for Zemo to essentially kill these guys.
Yeah.
Kind of like how they were doing with Bucky in Civil War, because he was reverting back to type basically by just killing guys rather than just beating them up like Captain America would. So yeah, I think there's got to be some sort of compromise. But yeah, I quite enjoyed the barricade bit where they're the barricade bit. The bit where they're barricaded because one said to go one way and the other went the other way.
I don't understand Zemo. Like, I don't, because when he just like left, I was like, is he just leaving them there to die? Like, I'm so confused. And then he put on the mask, which when he first grabbed the mask, I thought it was a Flag Smasher's mask. And I was like, is he the head of this whole thing? And then he did that, and then he put the mask on and it looked different, and I was like, oh, okay, so maybe not. But still, like, I don't understand. I don't understand what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, it confuses me because, like, he rescues them and then he disappears for a little bit and then comes and picks them up in, like, a fancy new car. I'm a bit like,
I was like,
okay, Zemo, like, playing some proper mind games here.
I don't know. Maybe he's the power broker. Because he just
Did you enjoy the
He just knew where the car was too.
Yeah.
That was just like really. It was like the most random container in a pile of container like things, and he's just like, "Oh, look, a car!" Like what? I don't know. Anyway, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say, did you enjoy the move your seat up joke?
Yes. Oh my god, I was so.
I literally put it on my notes. I was like, I'm so happy that's in there.
I think I have that in there too. Yeah. Oh god, that was so good. I was like, yes.
I love it. I love like all the there's just little bits that are kind of taking you back to, you know, the previous sort of films and things like that.
Mhm.
Kind of just different ways for the audience to relate to, you know, the MCU in an entirely different way.
Yeah.
It's just brilliant. Yeah, absolutely love that joke, I have to say.
Yeah, that was
Carly.
great.
We got a little bit more of a
Yes.
glimpse into Carly's life.
I still
I just don't
know.
like her.
I still don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't get her vibe. Like I don't know what the end goal is at this point because she said she wanted things to be better for the people who are like who were there during the blip, and like life was they created a different life basically. But then she bombs the refugee place of
Yeah,
all
the
the
GRC
people who
building.
got kicked out of their places because they were here in the blip and then the people came back. So like why would you kill the people that you say you're trying to help? Like I don't get her. I don't get her.
I honestly think that it's kind of like a she's in too deep now sort of scenario.
Yeah.
Like I think she's just gotten too big for her boots because you could see that like I can't remember the other guy's name, but like, he's meant to be sort of like a close friend of Carly's, and he's surprised at her actions now.
Yeah.
Because she's just doing too much. Like it's just kind of a bit unnecessary. And like that's the whole thing that she's kind of. I don't even know if the other super soldiers, as we call them, know that Carly has another 12 vials of super soldier serum.
I feel like they have to. I just had a thought. But maybe she has like, because there's 8 of them and then there's 12 left. I think that she might like be trying to recreate it herself so that she can give it to everyone who was there. Because they stole like vials of stuff from, I don't know where it was, but in the second episode.
Second episode.
Yeah. Like, they were stealing, like, medicine. So I don't know if they were, like, trying to recreate it, or if they gave it to someone and they're recreating it, and then they stole the product. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I just
I feel
like she's a pawn or something.
Yeah.
I just don't. She's just it just seems a bit too unnecessary. And her like brief kind of glimpse into like her motive that somebody was like dying or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough for like for me to like sympathize for her or anything like that.
Yeah. I just don't get her. I don't get what the end goal is here.
Yeah.
But
okay. On to the final bit. Well, kind of, yeah, so like just before the final bit actually, because I wanted to bring something up. Actually, no, we'll just bring that up in sort of theories and predictions. Okay. The final bit, Bucky, Sam and Zemo are going somewhere, and Bucky kind of goes off trail because he finds a Wakandan bead.
Yes.
I kind of knew it was coming because at the start of the episode, or near the start of the episode, they referenced King Kachaka and all of that. But that was great.
I didn't see it coming.
No?
And then I also was like, how did he see that on the ground? But now I'm thinking it might have had something to do with his arm. Like, he might have, like, felt it or something. Because maybe they, like, built something. I don't know. But I was like, how did he just see... Like, it's literally, like, it's like this. Like, it's like this big.
That was, like, almost perfect, yeah.
I hold this while we talk because I need to do something with my hands. But... it's literally, like, this big, and he just, like, he didn't look down at the ground or anything. He was just like, I'm gonna go for a walk. And they were like, okay. And then you look down, and it's just, like, at his foot. So I feel like he, like, felt it or something. But when I first saw it, I was like, I've seen those before. What are those? And then I saw the other one, and I was like, they're from the bracelet. And then it clicked in my head, and I was like, yes, we love that. Yeah. I didn't expect it, but I wasn't surprised when she came. Like,
No, yeah, I think it was probably similar. I think I was
Yeah.
probably felt a little bit similar, but yeah, that'll be definitely interesting for the next episode, which we'll cover in the
yeah,
predictions part of this podcast.
I'm excited about
Definitely, yeah. Okay, overall rating. I'm pretty sure we spoke about this off camera, but what did
Yeah.
you rate the episode?
that. So I gave the episode a 7.5 out of 10 to like an 8 because I just hated the last episode. I just didn't like it. And I think it was because of John Walker, because I just don't like him. And it was like, he was just in it too much. I don't vibe with him. I don't like him very much. But
Yeah, I mean this one he wasn't really in it at all. So
No.
yeah, I think maybe it was potentially that. Yeah, for myself, I think I gave it like a 6. I probably could be a bit more generous and give it like 6.5. I'm just trying to think what we rated the first episode, because the first episode
we gave it an 8.
was very good. Okay, yeah. So like I just don't think it was up to scratch with that. It's carrying the momentum, on with the series.
Yeah.
It's doing that really well. But I think it's difficult when you're doing like a 6-part series, because you're kind of
Yeah.
like piecing
You have to do it
things
really
together
quick,
very
too,
quickly. But it's also still giving us some mystery. So yeah, I just thought it was a good episode. It wasn't like amazing, or I don't think we're ever going to rate anything 10 out of 10. But
Maybe. You never know.
I don't know. Yeah, it was an okay episode for me.
I
I just
loved it.
I'm just very picky.
I liked it so much better just because I hate John Walker. Like, so much.
Yeah. Okay.
But-
So on to fans' theories. I don't know if you've had any time to kind of look at any care,
No,
but I found a
haven't.
couple and just sort of some things about who the things was. There was only really one, mainly just because, like we touched on earlier, about the episode being called Power Broker.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, who is Power Broker? Is he like a significant character in the MCU that I have no clue whatsoever?
Yeah.
So, luckily the internet had some answers for us. So, Power Broker, also known as Curtis Jackson, he's kind of like involved with funding any sort of like illegal organisations and things like
Yeah.
that.
I kind of figured that much.
He belongs to something called the Corporation, which I have no idea what that means.
I don't know.
No?
No. I don't think I've ever heard of
No,
that.
like I didn't have an absolute clue. But the main thing was, which I think will prove to be some very sort of interesting theories, obviously, is he has some affiliation with Red Skull.
And they did mention Red Skull as well in this episode.
Yeah. So it kind of does make a little bit of sense.
Interesting.
I'm wondering if it's kind of like a direct relation to Red Skull.
Maybe.
Like maybe a nephew, or
Yeah.
maybe he's a super soldier that was the similar Hydra experiment team that performed on
Yeah.
Red Skull. And maybe he's got the serum, and then that could explain why he's like alive today, because we've understood that they have extra long life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Really want to find out who Power Broker is. I'll be interested to know who plays him, because he seems like a pretty decent villain.
Yeah. I'm excited to see who it is.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I've got this correct, but this is what I was talking about earlier with Sharon, is that I believe Curtis Jackson or Power Broker has some sort of involvement with Sharon.
Yeah.
That was the kind of theory that we were kind of looking at, like maybe she works with him
I
or
think
whatever.
definitely. Because
Yeah.
just the way that she like got in the car and she was like, "We have a problem." I was like, "Oh shit, she's with him." I feel like she is either working for him in some capacity, or like is really scared of him, like working for someone who's like his rival or something.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something going on there. Will be kind of interesting to see how that plays out, what her role will be. Quickly, because I wasn't really planning on talking about this. I think I wanted to talk about this in like the actual breakdown. But do you not find it a bit weird that Captain America, or I don't know, anyone didn't contact her over the past sort of 5 years and get her back into the country? All she did was give them a shield and the wings.
Yeah. I think it was. I feel like he might. I don't know, because Cap was like off the radar after Civil War, and he came back in Infinity War. And I feel like it obviously wasn't in the film at all, but I feel like he might have tried to contact her and be like, "Hey, want to help us with this thing?" And she was like, "Nah, it's okay."
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like, I feel like I don't know, because I don't know why Sam wouldn't have known where she was, but maybe she wasn't there yet. You know, maybe she went there during the blip.
Right.
So.
Well, she would have went there after Civil War because she had to escape the United States.
Yeah, but I'm saying
She had
like
to leave
maybe
there, like,
maybe
as soon
she
as that.
went just like around for a while, and was just like kind of running around the way Cap and Falcon were, and Bucky. Well, no, Bucky was in Wakanda, but
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just very weird. I felt like it was just kind of a bit of a, like, we've really no one's heard from her in sort of like 5 years.
Yeah.
I just felt that was another thing that kind of brought the rating down for me once I realised. I was a bit like,
Yeah.
it feels like they've kind of dropped the ball there.
She could have just, I don't know. Like, obviously none of this is like, this is all like supposed to be like background where like it's not shown on camera, but it could be that she was just like off the radar from them too, and she was like, I just kind of want to distance myself and like stuff like that. Like, she could have just called him up and been like, hey, like, don't contact me, I'm just gonna go off the grid. And he was like, cool.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it could have just been something like that. Because it didn't seem like she resented them in any way.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Right. Well, anyway, on to predictions. So where we will predict what will happen in the next episode, and just kind of like the series in generals. Karen, I'm pretty sure you've got one or two. Would you like to go first?
Sure. I just had the one. I was thinking that Zemo has something to do with the Flag Smashers. Mm-hmm. And I thought it from the mask at first, but then it was a different mask. But then I was thinking about it and I was like, well, maybe because the way he wants to find Carly does not feel like he wants to find her to stop her, if that makes sense. Like, I don't...
It's an interesting analysis, yeah.
I don't...
The way to look at it.
It just doesn't feel like he wants to stop what they're doing. It feels like he has his own agenda, and it's more in line with the Flag Smashers than it is with Bucky and Sam. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that there's a, very strong possibility that Zemo's going to turn on them. Mm-hmm. Especially now with, like, I can't say the name. Oyo? Is that how you say it? The Wakandan girl?
Yes. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Is it Okoye,
now that there's some involvement from there. No, it's not okay, yeah. I thought it was okay, yeah, at first, and then realised it wasn't. And I was a bit like,
I forget her name.
Okay, it would have been better.
I don't know how to say her name.
Yeah. But, I think there's a strong possibility. Like, Zemo's not just going to, turn over and let them tickle his belly in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got to have something lined up, which should definitely be very interesting.
I don't trust him, and I feel like Bucky's trusting him too much. But
yeah,
I don't know.
But I think it's also known that he is just a human being, and he could, just beat him up very easily.
That's true.
Okay, so another prediction that I kind of had, the way that US Agent or John Walker, aka the most hated Captain America of all time, the way that he was acting in his second scene of this episode, sort of being like, oh, like, do whatever you can to get there, like, nobody's going to care about the how. I reckon he's going to take Super Soldier Serum, because he wants to be so liked that he's going to try his best to become new Captain, or as much alike as the last Captain America as possible. So I can see him taking the Super Soldier Serum.
It just makes me so angry.
The next episode or on the next couple.
That just makes me so angry. I do think that could possibly happen, and that makes me so mad. I hate the
Yeah.
thought of that because I hate him so much. But
I think that's why they'll do it though, because so far
Yeah.
they're doing everything perfectly to make people hate him more and more,
Yeah.
and that's just gonna kind of like tip the scale.
I agree. I think that
so
could
yeah.
be a very strong possibility.
Yeah. Okay. So on to the last prediction that I had. Sharon.
Yes.
Do you reckon she can become a superhero? Do you know much about her actual?
I
Character.
don't know much about her, like, from the comics or anything. I don't know.
Right.
But I don't know. I could see her being, like, kind of the new Black Widow. Like, if Sam gets her that pardon and she's allowed back in the country, I feel like it's going to be on terms of, like, you basically have to be our new Black Widow kind of situation. I could see her being in that position.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a place for her. I think also as well, sort of tied in with this, that like we were saying with US Agent taking the super soldier serum, I reckon she could take one to kind of like even the odds. Because currently it's Bucky and Sam. Zemo's not going to do much, and Zemo is definitely not going to take a super soldier serum because he hates the thought of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you know, they need to kind of, they're very seriously outgunned at the moment against 8 super soldiers.
Yeah.
So I just reckon there's somewhere for Sharon Carter to be part of it. I'm just not sure who she kind of like would be,
Yeah. I don't know.
because I haven't seen anything coming up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if that's really a theory or a prediction, but yeah, I just think that she's gonna become a lot more of the MCU in the recent episodes, and then sort of in the future.
Yeah.
Which
I
look forward to that,
would
to be
not
honest.
be opposed to that because I love her.
Mm.
So.
Yeah.
But
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that is everything wrapped up.
Yeah.
So please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Please also be sure to check the link in the description, and at the end of this video on the screen you can find Kare's channel, so please be sure to subscribe to her. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next week.
bye.